What are we doing tonight?
Take us away, Miller.
Well, first, we have a special guest on our episode tonight, Miss Amy.
Hello.
So today we're going to talk about the fear of judgment.
Yeah.
And why are we talking about the fear of judgment?
Well, I think that it's pretty common, right? It's probably an everyday occurrence that you're thinking about what other people are thinking. And it's also come up in the Finding Fire world recently, as well as Amy and I are launching Midwest Married through my sister's production company, which is dropping April 3rd. And Amy kind of expressed to us the other day some of the fears and feelings she was having. So we thought it would be...
Fears, apprehension. What is it going to be like? Am I really doing this? I'm just some person who is married in the Midwest, I guess. But like, do I have what it takes? I don't know.
Yeah. And that's where we want to kind of start too is, like you just said, Matt, it's an everyday occurrence. I think sometimes when you think of, the fear of being judged, you immediately go to that situation that you're public speaking or, the very popular items that you think about of people judging you. Like you're in the spotlight and what are people going to think of me? You're on a podcast. You're going to start your passion, your journey, what are others going to think? But it could be like an everyday thing. You could be going in Target or something and maybe your hands are full and you didn't open the door from somebody behind you. They gonna think you're an asshole for not holding the door. And then you just, you go down the aisle and you move on with your life. But like all those little things that subconsciously are in the back of your mind that you might not think is a fear of being judged, but it is. So
right.
Taking a step back and just talking about the psychology, the root of why as humans do we care about being judged? Why do we care about what others think of us? How does that start? How does that happen?
Yeah, I think everybody does it. I think that it's important to most people, if not everybody that I've talked to, they worry about, I just met this person. Do they like me? Did I say something stupid? And then overanalyzing that situation or that encounter that you had.
Yep.
So common.
Yeah.
So. And
it's those, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it goes back to the innate desire for people to be liked. This goes back to the episode that we talked about, small little lies. So like you're trying to impress people or you want to be liked. You want that belongingness of community.
We're social creatures.
Social creatures.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There we go.
And it's those thoughts that I think this is a lot where it stems from is those thoughts you put in your own head and now you assume others are thinking that. Maybe for us starting the Firefighting podcast, are we knowledgeable enough? Do we have enough experience? Other things could be, you should be married by now. You don't make enough money. Like all these thoughts that you put in your head, you're now assuming everybody you talk to is now thinking about that. So it's getting past your own self, not inviting that judgment into your mindset.
Really. I think our self-judgment probably can be the harshest that there is.
Yeah.
And you can pick that up from, I don't know, just living and existing in the world. But how often have you heard, especially in, like, I remember feeling this way in my 20s, like you go on social media and you see someone bought a house. You see someone is married, someone's having babies, somebody finished their graduate degree and you're still on your 5th year of college. Well, that was quite a few years ago. But still, I remember feeling that and being there and the kind of keeping up with the Joneses feeling of judging yourself and not feeling that enoughness.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could go so many ways with this.
Oh, I know.
With this particular topic.
But just doing some research, things like that. What's resonated with me the most, there's two things. It is that what you fear, what those nasty lies that you put in your own head. Now you're assuming people feel that with you. But then on the other hand, it's, having that at least some baseline foundation of wanting to be liked or having that social positive relationship of being safe and maybe agreeing with people in a social setting just because I want them to like me. Or if I say something that's different or that's going to cause a ruckus or is a totally opposite opinion, are they going to hate me?
So you're basically creating the judgment ahead of time.
Exactly.
You're worried.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I wore a sweatsuit on this podcast tonight. Like,
I noticed that when I came in.
Hopefully,
kidding.
What are people going to think of us doing a podcast? And hey, they're pretty casual tonight. Like, do I put that in my head before we even put this out? And then I'm worried about that judgment of, oh my gosh, should we really even put this podcast out? Because Miller's wearing a t-shirt, I'm in a hoodie. Like,
It's at the end
Yeah.
of the day, long day, work, kids, bedtime.
Yep. It's not quality enough. You guys should blah, blah, blah. All that stuff.
Right.
Absolutely.
So how do we handle it? Oh,
Pause. Can you guys continue to talk for a second?
Record button's on. That's good. Bada bing, bada boom. Are you guys excited for Costa Rica?
so excited, especially now that I'm feeling better. I tell
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Tuesday
That's a
started
good-
coming
some
down with a
crud.
tickle.
Yeah.
Tickle in my throat, right?
Alyssa has that right now. Tonight she said the same thing.
Oh, well, just wait. So then yesterday, maybe Tuesday night, I developed getting like body aches, and I'm like, no, I have not been sick all season, all year. Like, it's been so long since I've been sick, but of course I'm going to get sick right before we go to Costa Rica. Like, that's just going to happen. So to prepare for Costa Rica, we went into Matt's work to hang out, well, not hang out, but to work
Oh,
like
yeah. So
extra
you're saying,
because
yep.
of course, as an adult, like, what the heck? As an adult, in order to go on vacation, you have to like work more before you go on vacation to like get the world prepared for your absence. And then when you come back from vacation, you have to do extra work to catch up
That's the
from your
worst.
vacation. I'm like, what the heck? This adulting thing is not
Yeah.
fair.
I mean, sometimes
So-
people say it's not worth going on vacation because of that.
I
What you're
know.
coming back to, but
I
I don't believe
know.
in that. So you know,
I know
what?
it's still worth it. It's still like worth going.
I think we're at the point in our lives where who gives a fuck? Like, there's so much other stuff to worry about in life.
You just,
Right.
you
Than
just
your job,
I know.
unless you're
We're all
in the
replaceable.
medical profession.
But we're all replaceable.
Oh,
like,
right,
you know,
exactly.
if I die rappelling down a waterfall in Costa Rica, they'll
Yeah.
find somebody else to take my job. I actually know exactly who wants my job. Anywho, that person is not coming with, so there's no chance she'll push me off the waterfall. No, just kidding. So anyway, then I started to get chilled and like body aches that night while we were working, and so I was like, oh, this is just the worst timing.
Yeah.
Went to work the following day, worked, didn't get better, probably got a little bit worse, but never had like a fever or anything, just worse sore throat, body ache, chills, and went and took a strep test. Positive.
Yeah.
so
that
don't drink Amy's.
Yes, I won't spit on
No.
you, especially if it worsens. But I was so glad that it was positive because there's actually something you can do about it. Bring on the
That's what she said when
penicillin.
she-
Anyway, I've been on antibiotics now, so I feel good.
Good.
All right.
That sounds good.
All right. Where were we?
And we're back.
So anyways, so that's kind of where we left off about, the judgment. You're creating the judgment yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
You just asked the question of how do you overcome that? Where do you start? And like not fall into the trap where ironically you're comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Like I recently gave a speech in an auditorium in front of some others, and I wasn't scared of what people were judging me on speaking. I just remember talking to the group, and maybe this is awareness, but you know, seeing somebody in the left corner just staring at me more than others were. And I was like, is this person like staring right through me? Am I not getting the message across? So like, and I'm talking as in my brain, I'm like wondering what this person's thinking over here. And I wasn't like scared.
Am I just a fraud up here talking?
Yeah, I
Am
wasn't scared. Yeah, I was just like, and then I forgot what I said, but other people were not like, yeah. And I was like, what the hell did I just say? I was busy worrying about what this person was doing over here, which they probably weren't even paying attention to me. And I'm putting those thoughts into my own head,
Yep.
and I'm not present in the moment.
So what did you learn? Did you learn anything through your endeavors of how we're supposed to address that?
I don't know if there's really any like other than your mindset. I think it just goes back to the practice of flipping your mindset of not assuming people are thinking what you're thinking or that everybody's staring at you because you're wearing this, where they're in their own world. People are in their own world, thinking of their own things, having the same issues as or the fear of judgment as you are. Like that person that you think might be assuming of what you're wearing or whatever the case might be, they're having that exact same feeling. I guarantee you, or something else. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like they're not thinking about you.
I think it also starts, though, by identifying those automatic thoughts that come into your brain that
Yeah.
are perhaps not so positive. And then actually really challenge yourself. Like, is that thought actually true? Because I think a lot of times we lie to ourselves
Yeah.
and we self-criticize the most. Like, I am so bad at public speaking. I always mess this up. And then if you like pause and be like, okay, well, is that really true? Do I always mess it up? I have done some successful public speaking in my life, so maybe that isn't actually the most true statement.
Yeah.
Am I the best at it? No, maybe there's some room for growth, but I'm not the worst at it either. I got up there, I did it. But that takes a lot of effort. It's much easier just to default to, I'm the worst.
Oh, yeah.
But to like actually pause and be like, when you catch yourself having those negative self-thoughts, then to be like, wait, no, actually, that's not really true.
Yeah.
I think that helps because the
Yeah.
more you practice that and do that, I feel like the more you rewire your brain to thinking differently and to being less judgmental about yourself. And I feel like then when you're less judgmental about yourself, you'll probably come to the conclusion that other people are a little bit less judgmental
Yeah.
also. Maybe.
Yep. And I found that you should continually put yourself out there. If something's making you uneasy, if you're worried about being judged, continue public speak, continue to get better at what you're worried about, and then ask for some validation from your close circle or someone that you trust.
It's like exposure therapy.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah.
So
I like
and
that
might,
point about getting that validation though.
Yeah, that might be bringing a friend to your speech and be like, hey, how'd I do? What could I do better?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? A manager, a boss, one of your peers. Hey, I'm about to hop on this call. I'm really kind of nervous about this. I'm wondering if you can listen to my call and just provide some feedback at the end.
Yeah.
I bet 99% of the time they are going to think that you did better than you thought you did.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Maybe 100% of the time.
Unless you're
though.
really bad. Then just don't do it. Find something else. But
No, put yourself out there. I like it.
Jokes.
What's your saying? Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's part
The
of
more
it.
you can do that, the more it's going to help you. And then find those small wins too. If you, let's say during a speech or, you found that one like, ooh, I did good there for whatever the case might be. Like, all right, so what did you do there that made you think that you were successful? Or maybe throughout the day, did you wake up earlier or are you hydrated? Did you not drink the night before? Did you kind of prepare yourself on your way to work or whatever the case might be? But like, what did you do that day that you can carve and copy and do again too? Again, to help with those nasty lies that you tell about yourself that you assume others are thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
And then here's also the question that I struggle with. Why does it matter? Someone
Doesn't.
might think something negatively about us right now. They might be on here watching us thinking, these three hooligans.
Yeah.
You should see
From Minnesota.
some of the
They're not
comments
psychologists.
we've gotten.
Oh, I do not want to. I will not. I'm going to protect my brain from the judgment. But
You
yeah,
wanna,
they
you wanna
might
talk
think
about firing me up.
they might think that we are absolutely the worst thing in the world. But that's also okay. Like, it's okay that they feel that way.
Yeah.
They can have those feelings.
Again.
And it, like, really, what does it? How does it
It's all about
like impact
perspective.
you as a person, or
Right.
like? There also is probably somebody out there thinking, "Wow, I really like these guys. They're really down to earth and entertaining, or
Yeah.
something."
Yep.
Or I was just thinking that exact same thing. Why do we let one bad comment ruin like 10 good comments?
Right.
I do that all the time
Yeah.
also. But why does it matter? Why do we? I think as humans we probably seek that validation, and
Yeah.
maybe that's more cultural.
That
But it's
belongingness is what we want.
probably healthier to just let that go and to be like, they
Oh,
can
yeah.
have those feelings and that's okay.
Yep.
That's
definitely.
a them problem.
It's a them problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all perspective
Yeah.
too.
We're
It's-
all hanging out, having fun.
right. There's so much more. I don't know if it's my age catching up now, but like there's so much more in life to worry about than what people are saying about you. If this helps one person,
Yeah.
we've done our job.
Yeah.
I agree.
99% are like, we're not psychologists. There's these three hooligans having a glass of wine and whiskey talking about how to get past the fear of judgment.
You
But
just brought up a huge judgment right now.
What?
What do they even think about us drinking whiskey?
I probably wish they were here with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Cheers. Go pour yourself a glass of wine.
Cheers. Yeah, if we can help one person, I think we did our job. Maybe you talking about your experience you talked about, maybe me talking about with speech and not being in the moment and how you can practice
Right.
getting past that. But just in everyday real life examples, like My wife did it at the car dealership the other day. We had issues with the new car that we bought. And to her credit, she's being just persistent, calling a lot, calling the dealership, calling the manufacturer, making sure
I believe it.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, they're probably thinking, here comes that crazy lady again. I was like, well, maybe they are, but who cares?
Right?
You're trying to watch out for you.
Or maybe they're thinking, wow, she's really smart to be following up on this so much.
Right, exactly.
Do you want to hear my most recent fear of judgment?
Yes.
It's going to be comical, so you might want to maybe cut this out. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, boy.
I recently
Go on.
experienced a little bit of a health crisis, an issue.
Is this something we all don't know about right now?
No, you know about it.
Okay, I was gonna say.
So
Brace yourselves.
I suffered some sensory neural sudden hearing loss. Is that right?
Sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Yeah.
In my right ear. And I went and got tested and I went on some drugs and whatever. And then being that Amy's in the medical field was suggesting that I ask for all these different tests. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go and call or write this doctor specialist a note. I don't want to waste his time. Like he's going to think I'm a crazy person.
What?
True.
But you were having real symptoms.
I was, but
They
I
were
already-
legitimate. Like
they were all legitimate. I had gone in.
That's
I
what
had saw
medical
him, and
providers are
if,
for.
if he was really like concerned, he would have threw the book at me.
But if things are worsening or changing or not improving over time, then
But
you
that-
should let them know.
But that is a stupid fear that I had. I
guess
overcame it. I went in.
Yeah, those are good
wrote
examples.
the note, but it's
Way
like
to go.
something that shouldn't be bad at all, or even judgment shouldn't
No.
even cross your mind.
So then-
it does, right?
Was he dismissive? Did he
Nope.
make
I
you
went in
feel like
and
a crazy person?
not at all.
Right.
Until the next time I have to talk to him. Jokes. But anyways, that was just a real life example.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it helps you not settle. Like you could totally like, I don't want to say deal with that, but you could have totally not done that and be like, oh, hopefully it just goes away, or I'll suck it up and deal with it. Or my wife in the car dealership, she could have been like, she had a pressure issue in the car. Like, can I deal with it? I was like, no, you paid good money for a new car. You should be able to enjoy it without anything. But in this circumstance, like this ended up kind of working out in both favors because the dealer was like, thanking us almost in a weird way. I know we were like the guinea pigs of this new brand car, but they're like, you're teaching us things now that we can be aware of or teach others. Like if you would have just gone with it and
Right. Okay, you got to tell him what was going on with the car though, because it was weird.
it was weird. Yeah. So, and I'm not a big complainer either. And I was just like, yeah, this is weird. So it was like when you were almost going up in an airplane, you have that like your first sudden like pressure variance that you can feel in your ears. But at the same time, it felt like every bump that you hit, it was like you had a silent subwoofer in your car with the bass.
That's
so it was
just
like when
weird.
you hit a bump, you kind of feel it.
Kind of like if you have only one window cracked, like one
Yeah,
window open.
not even like that, because they
Not
kept
even like
asking
that.
that, like,
Okay,
were your windows down? I'm like, no, they were all up, and
It
this
just
and that.
made
But I
your
felt like every time you
ears
hit a
feel
bump,
weird.
it was like, whoop, whoop, like whoop, whoop.
Weird.
And then it would just like be in your brain rattling around. So they tried maybe a seal in the window that helped kind of the pressure, but yeah, it was really weird. And I test drove it again today because we're trading in tomorrow, and like immediately leave my driveway, and it's just like pressure.
still
Is it here
happening.
tonight?
No,
I
no.
was like,
Our
take me
neighbors
for
are
a
gonna drive it
ride.
tomorrow morning though, because we want to drive this thing.
I
And
know we want to know like what this is,
and the
so
dealership-
it's still a mystery, right?
yeah, the
Nobody knows
dealership,
why it's doing
the
that.
manufacturer's like, it's not anything that we can fix, so we're gonna deem it as it is what it is. And then at the
It's a
dealership,
lemon.
well, that's what we were trying to get at. Is like one more service, or like one or two more service appointments would have been considered a lemon. And they tried to do it, but like 6 guys drove it at the dealership, and they were like, we have a hint of what you're getting at. Like
Yeah.
we're driving at 3 or 4 minutes of a time,
Yeah.
but we see what you're saying. Yeah, she was super persistent, and to me, she was like, "Oh, here comes that crazy lady." I was like, "Well, I could be like, yeah, here comes that crazy lady with her husband too," But I was like, this is one of the first times where I was like, "This is all going to work out in the end. You're being persistent. You're doing what you're supposed to do to watch out for you and your family and
Right.
your expenses and the money that you put towards it and all that." But yeah, it ended up working well that the Trading worked out well, and then they were very like, thank you for being patient. We appreciate it.
Oh, that's good.
You
That's
know, they
good
were
that you had a
very-
good experience.
Very good to deal with. It was just,
Well, it seemed like both Alyssa and you sought validation for those feelings, being like, hey, am I crazy to write this?
Yeah.
Am
I told them, I was like, you
do
two
this?
just
No.
go down the negative, like the way end of the spectrum of negative town.
Good thing that you
Oh
guys
my
have me and
gosh,
Ryan.
yes.
We are optimistic.
Yes, we
I
are.
think.
My goodness.
We are the
I was like, Matt
optimists.
thinks he's going to be deaf and blind. I was like, you're going to be fine. This is temporary. And Alyssa's
gonna get
and I
better.
kept telling Alyssa, it's a hunk of metal.
Yeah.
It's a car. But I know on her side, it's an expense. It's an investment.
real
I'm just
concerns.
like I just said, there's so many more things in life to worry about.
There are.
Anywho,
So what else do you have as far as notes on the psychology?
I just think it's
I know we've touched on a lot, but is there anything else before we dive into talking about the Midwest married fear?
No, I would say the two points to leave, because like Amy, what you said, it's a big topic. There's a lot of rabbit holes you could go down. There's
Right.
a lot of different routes you could talk about, but I think it does come down to, three things. Stop judging yourself. That's what we
Yes.
talked about pretty much.
Challenge those negative thoughts.
Yes.
Like, first you have to identify them and be like, wait a minute, that wasn't kind. Like, if it's not something that you would say to your friend, you really shouldn't be saying it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the power to do that. Stop the negative thoughts. First identify it, then challenge it,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, is this actually true?
Yes.
99% of the time, and you're getting down on yourself, there's a different spin on it or another
Yep.
way to look at it.
Yep. And then ask yourself that question: is this what I truly believe? So that I'm assuming others believe it. So identify that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Number 2 is stop chasing people's approval.
Yeah,
And I
letting
think-
it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Why does it matter?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I think the core for some, and I fall in this trap too, is in social settings, is trying to be a people pleaser, trying to get along with everyone, making sure everybody
Mm-hmm. Right.
likes you. Like I said, if you're talking politics or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever the case might be, whatever topic it is, but agreeing all the time and not, challenging or being yourself in your own opinion, and be your own self.
And
I think there's a lot of freedom in that too. Like letting go of that, then if you are okay with other people having differing opinions, like politics especially,
Yeah.
and not joining others maybe in others' emotions, like because people can get pretty worked up about things, but
Yeah.
if you like let them have their feelings and you don't join them in those feelings,
Yeah,
it's actually really freeing.
right. Exactly.
And I think that if you can't let it go and it does matter to you, then you need to start asking yourself and run through this process of asking yourself why. And ask yourself why as many times as you can. I think the process is 7 times. Okay, why does it matter to me that people think this way about me? Because of X, Y, and Z. I want to be liked in
Yep.
this social group. Why do I want to be liked in this social group? Because getting into this social group would put me into a different tier or different class of
Or I feel like I could grow personally.
I could grow personally. Why do I want to grow personally? And then really address the root of the problem.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
So-
also, I think, hard to do. Like something that where you have to like consciously stop, take a minute, and like work through it. I like it.
Yeah.
So
And I would just say the last piece is surround yourself with, like-minded individuals. If you have people pulling you down, or just get a good, supportive group behind you that understand what you're going for, what you're chasing, and ultimately what makes you happy.
I 100% agree with that. And it's funny that you bring that up because today is one of my very good friends' 40th birthdays. So today, this
Oh.
morning, I sent her a text message and I was like, happy birthday. I love our friendship and I think you're amazing. And I want to tell you why. Told her why she was amazing. And
Nice.
one of the things that I brought up specifically was I really, they say to surround yourself with people that you want to be more like, right?
Yep.
For me, she's definitely one of those people. I told her, it's because you pushed me to be more adventurous. She's so she's the reason we're going to Costa Rica and doing the zip lining and all of the things. And she is free-spirited, yet she's also organized. How are you both? How is someone both? She is somehow both of those things. Very organized, yet very free-spirited. Yeah. And she motivates me to be a better person. And so I think that that's a really, really cool, that's probably an entire different podcast topic. But I think that, surrounding yourself with like-minded people can be a very powerful, really awesome thing.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So that's all.
Let's
getting over the fear of being judged.
It's almost all, but we need to
for
address
this specific topic. Yes.
For that specific topic.
Yes. So, all right. Before we get to our next topic here, just want to give a shout out to one of our great sponsors, Story North Productions. Story North Productions is a Duluth, Minnesota-based full-service video production agency. They specialize in crafting compelling documentary storytelling and video content for a diverse range of partners, ranging from industry to education and nonprofits to government. They leverage expertise to help each client showcase their unique story with unparalleled creativity and impact. So go check them out, Story North Productions, storynorthproductions.com.
So, Amy, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Midwest Married and
what it is, what it will be,
and has this conversation helped you get over your fear? What are you worried about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good segue.
Multiple questions.
Look at you.
I'll start with the first. Midwest Married is a podcast that has been in the thought process or in the works for more than a year, I think.
Yep.
We've taken our sweet time getting there. Probably a little bit of that imposter syndrome is part of that. Part of it probably is just you also have to work your normal 9 to 5 and raise your family and do all of the things.
Build a house.
So, yes, finding the time has been
Do the dishes.
a little doing the dishes. I've got a sink
There's
full
so
of
much
dishes
more to
right
hear
now.
about that.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
Dang it, Ryan.
I'm sorry.
I couldn't pass up that.
The
Just heat it up, and I had to
There's
go
a
for it.
TikTok right there. I got to take a drink after that.
Okay. So it is a podcast where Matt and I basically talk about social topics that are relevant to us, relevant to including family, friends, relationships, kids. Really, there are no bounds, there are no limits on the topics that we can discuss. We like to bring in a few different topics, stories. Occasionally, I will do a little bit of research ahead of time, find some scientific evidence to help answer some of those questions, because often we are coming in with questions like, what have we...
We've talked about proposals, how long proposals should take,
how do you
know that it's the right time, or we've talked about friendships and maintaining friendships throughout your
Toxic
20s, your
relationships.
30s. Toxic relationships.
Yeah, toxic relationships and how to avoid those, the pitfalls.
That are so real, too.
Yeah, we had Morgan on from Two Hot Takes.
Talking about intimacy.
I'm
a little worried about that one. We're going to get a lot of judgment for that one, I think.
Don't fear it, Amy. Don't fear the judgment.
I
Just kidding.
don't know if this is healthy, but my plan is just to let you guys just tell me the positive ones.
Amy has
Protect
All sunshine and roses.
Right.
Amy has a hard time putting herself out there to the world and then seeing the negative YouTube comments or the negative Instagram comments.
Right.
That sucks when you read them at the time, because you're like, tried so hard to have fun, put yourself out there, and you are, especially the podcast that we have been featured on of Two Hot Takes, it's a very big podcast, and it's not just 300 people here in Duluth that saw it. No, it's
not everyone is kind.
It's
from Duluth.
No.
a million
Duluth,
views.
Not everyone is Minnesota nice.
Stuff, yeah.
Right? So you're
There's
not.
some people from New York on that.
So some things have been rough. I have been personally roasted on there many
You do
a time.
better with that than I do.
I get the people going.
I just don't.
Gets the
Let's
people
go.
going.
I don't know.
So
You can screen it.
Yeah.
there you go.
Or I should take my own advice
Put-
and just, create the mantra, I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me.
Yeah. That's good.
It's a good mantra,
Yeah.
right?
That's a them problem.
It's a them problem. Oh, yeah, that's a them
You should put this on
problem.
the agenda because whatever you just said spurred the thought in my brain. What our oldest daughter is going through right now is just worry, like complete and utter worry of the world. And now she's realizing the world, there are bad people in the world.
Oh, that's
like-
hard.
Just constant worry. And like, it's every day for the past like couple months.
Yeah. And how
Well,
do you
she's
help her through
hearing-
that?
Yeah, I was like, and I'm totally honest. Like, the world is not roses and sunshine. There are bad people out there. People suck. They do bad things. And she's like, well, like they kill people and they break into cars and they do all this stuff. And it's, something affecting her sleep and all this stuff. And I was just like, I'm not hiding it at all.
Yeah.
So
I think you need to be honest in those situations. And I'm sure that you are, like, also
Yeah.
honest and age appropriate.
Yep.
Like you are. Like, yes, they do exist, but
Yep.
you're also safe.
She's about to turn
But-
8, so she's in that
Right.
range where,
I'm sure she's trying to figure out how is this actually going to impact me,
Yeah.
like in life. We all thought that quicksand was going to be a way bigger problem. Lives.
that's what I'm saying. That's spurred my thoughts. So put that
Boom.
on the agenda.
You hear this right here? It's
Oh.
on the agenda.
Okay.
But yeah,
Quicksand and lava. I thought those were going to be a way bigger deal than they are.
Yeah. We'll save that excitement for later, but
so anything else that you want to talk about Midwest Married? Any other fears that you're having before we kick it out to the world? She's good. She's got it.
Here's the one thing. I don't so much worry about the world. Like the fact that people, like thousands and thousands of people have seen us on Two Hot Takes doesn't bother me in the least. Like, cool. And I know, yep, we aren't everybody's flavor of the month or whatever. But what I worry about most is the people that we do know intimately, the people that we see in Target or are friends with,
Or
and
sweet Aunt
that
Millie.
I actually know, and my family, like
Yeah,
listening to us and
Yeah.
probably having those judgments or changing their view of who we are based on what we put out there.
I love
guess
that, what you just said right there.
that would
Changing
be
your view of who you are.
that would be my biggest concern, because it's true. It's a lot easier to be like, bah, I don't know everybody else. Everyone out there in the world, I know there's trolls but they're almost an abstract idea. Like, think about 100,000 people. I can't even, like, I don't even know what that looks like. Think about a million. Like, how, if you put all of those people in one room, I don't know what that looks like.
Well, like
But if you put
100,000, it's like the Excel center filled up.
anyway, my brain doesn't compute. But put 5 of my closest friends
Yeah,
and
I
family
hear ya.
and just push play and like sit there and watch them react. Like,
Yep.
that is nerve wracking to me.
It's like going to the state fair or the airport. Like, I love going to the airport because you're never going to see these people again.
Yeah.
I don't
You
care.
can wear whatever
Yeah,
fashion you want.
Like going to the airport, I don't give a fuck about anything. Just safe flight. That's about it.
Unless
But
it's your local airport, because then you know at least
you're gonna see somebody.
5 people
You will see somebody
from your
exactly.
actual life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So advice on that?
I think, for the most part, the conversations that we have would be conversations we would have with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would I have those conversations with your mom?
Right.
Probably not. So she doesn't need to listen. She just needs to
I know.
subscribe and download and then move on. But that being said, I don't think there's anything outlandish that is going to change the people that are closest to us. I don't think it's really going to change their opinions.
Okay.
of
Maybe not the
us.
people who are closest, but how about like that second or third degree? You know, that person who knows somebody.
Probably like us more.
I hear. God, I totally
You know,
hear what
like
you're
what
saying.
about like the parent at on your kid's hockey team?
Right. Yeah. I thought
That's
he was
very
a sweet
Midwest for
boy.
you.
I thought he was such a sweet
But
boy.
his parents, I mean, they're a little
Yeah.
they're a little out there.
Oh,
thought
those podcasters. Oh.
You think you know a guy? All right.
Cool.
This has been
Well,
good. Little mix of everything here.
We're going to do it. We're going to face our fears. We're going to do some exposure therapy, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to go for it. Give it a try.
There's a lot of things happening, a lot of things to be excited for, both on the Finding Fire side. We've been working hard on creating some products. We're working on that. Got the Midwest Married thing. And yeah, we appreciate everybody for listening. And please subscribe, like, and follow us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great night.